This video is about looking at the symbolism of London's 2021 fireworks display. Now please watch my video on it, as it will give it more context. But here we have a bird above the Millennium Dome. Now the bird is a nightingale, and you have the Millennium Dome, which looks like a crown, a corona. Now this image of the rising nightingale above the crown is very similar to what was shown in the end ceremony of the London 2012 Olympics. So you have a ceremony called the birth of the phoenix, or the rising of the phoenix. You have the all-seeing eye here, you have the rising phoenix, and you have a cauldron, which looks like a crown, which is very similar to the Millennium Dome. You have Crowley's OTO image, which again is a crown, a bird, and the all-seeing eye. So this image here, which was shown on the fireworks display, you have the crown of the Millennium Dome, and you have the nightingale, which looks like a rising phoenix. Now there are lots of connections between the nightingale and the phoenix. So the nightingale was thought to be a bird which was immortal, and the phoenix was a bird that was thought to be immortal. And the nightingale symbolism is about a poem by a poet called John Keats, who was part of the Romanticism movement of poetry. And John Keats, along with Shelley and Byron, were called the Satanic Poets. And the nightingale is a symbol of lamenting over death. Also it laments over the underworld, but the bird is immortal. Okay, so that's the theme. And in this Take That performance, in the closing ceremony of the 2012 Olympics, it has a similar idea. The song has a similar idea that if we can join with the rising phoenix Lucifer, we can ourselves become immortal. So you have the poem by John Keats, and John Keats' poems are known for their demonic, so his poems discuss the demonic nature of the poetic imagination. And Ode to a Nightingale is about a lament over those trapped in the underworld. And the poem is essentially about how human life is vain and how we search for immortality. So you have the Masonic symbol of Jacob's ladder. So with the help of Lucifer, or enlightenment, we can become gods ourselves. And that's why the Ode to the Nightingale, that's what the poem is about. Now let's hear a little bit of the poem.
Thy soul abroad in such an ecstasy, still wouldst thou sing, and I her ears in vain, to thy high requiem become a sod. Thou wast not born for death, immortal bird, no hungry generations tread thee down. The voice I hear this passing night was heard in ancient days by emperor and clown. Perhaps the selfsame song that found a path through the sad heart of Ruth, when sick for home she stood in tears amid the alien corn. Saying that oft times hath charmed magic casements, opening on the foam of perilous seas in fairy lands forlorn. Forlorn. The very word is like a bell to toll me back from thee to my soul's self. Adieu. The fancy cannot cheat so well as she is famed to do, deceiving elf. Adieu. Adieu. A plaintive anthem fades past the near meadows, over the still stream, up the hillside, and now 'tis buried deep in the next valley glades. Was it a vision or a waking dream? Fled is that music.
So the nightingale is famous for singing, and this is a kind of lament over the futility of life and the wish to join the nightingale. Now the nightingale is seen as immortal, so it is the same as the phoenix. The phoenix is also an immortal bird which dies and then from the underworld is resurrected. And remember that the nightingale sings for its lover at night. Now in the film Eyes Wide Shut by Stanley Kubrick, you have a character called Nick Nightingale, who plays the piano and who tempts Tom Cruise to attend the satanic orgy. Here he is. So he's playing beautiful music, like the nightingale sings. Now the film was made in 1999, so 666, and it really opened up what the Illuminati and who are the rulers of this world are about. And so you have the character Nick Nightingale. Now what this is that Nick is a traditional name for the devil, and Nightingale is the sweet song which invites you to join the devil, or Lucifer, with the promise of immortality or the good life. Okay, so that's why I think the character was called Nick Nightingale in the film Eyes Wide Shut. In the Economist magazine 2020, so this is before the coronavirus really became an issue, you have the words Nightingale. So on the cover of the magazine, if you zoom up close to the cover, you have here Nightingale here. So here is the words Nightingale at the bottom of the Economist magazine. And here you have the word ode. So you have the word ode here, and you have the word Nightingale here. Remember, this is before the coronavirus became a big thing and the Nightingale Centre was opened. So you have Nightingale here, and you have ode here. Now let's look into the heart symbolism. Now this heart symbolism, remember you have the crown here, is about Isis, the goddess Isis, who some say is the eye on the pyramid, some say it's Lucifer. Okay, so I think it's the same thing. So you have the heart symbolism. What does it mean? You have lots of these hand and heart people doing this, especially in football. And here you have actually the sun symbolism here. And some people do it with the 666 sign. So you have the heart symbolism, and it represents the goddess Isis. So you have lots of footballers, football run by Freemasons. And you have here Isis formed the cosmos through what her heart conceived and her hands created. So very similar to that gesture. And if we look at the Schweppes logo, here, you have the figure of Isis forming a heart. So at the top of the pyramid you have the arches of Freemasonry, which form a heart. And that is the symbol. This is why you're seeing this symbol so much in popular culture. And if you look at the British crown here, you will see that the British crown is itself here. So if you see the British crown here, you will see that it has the arch here of the heart symbolism of Isis, the golden arches. You have the crown. So think of the Schweppes logo, the Starbucks logo with the mermaid with her arms. You have the crown, so like the star of Isis, and then you have the crown here. And this is very similar to this. You have the crown of the Millennium Dome, and then you have the heart of Isis here. So I hope that I've explained some of the symbolism a bit deeper in this video. Thank you.